This is Vivian Quintela with Expert Soundbites, Tiny Power. I am here with Taylor. Taylor, how are you?
Hi, good.
Good. Well, today we are super excited to have one of our favorite life coaches. We have Annie Haviland, who is a certified life coach. She specializes in postpartum depression, and she loves she's also a cowgirl. And we just love her. Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you. And how are you?
Thank you for having me. It's such a treat and a treasure to be with you guys. Your work is amazing. All the good you're creating. It's such a privilege to be with you.
Thank you. Same for us. We're so excited to have you. And we love your content. We love what you share every time. And we want to start talking a little bit about something that you've talked on your social media, and it's about our state of mind, right? A lot of times, sometimes we live in a state of confusion. We don't really know how to deal with certain things, and this can impact, right, our ability to decide. And when talking about kids, we want to know how this can affect our children. How do our emotions mirror back into our kids?
Okay. Well, what I have learned through study and my own experience with my children is a confused parent creates a confused child. And so we just want to understand that it seems really important a lot of times, the confusion that we're in, because we're thinking about things, we're contemplating things, we're wanting to do the right thing. We want to, whether it's like disciplining our children the correct way, or where to live, or what school to put them in. That's one of the examples I thought of this morning, right? Like that could be a very confused, like especially first time parent, like there's all these schools, where do we put them, and like all this confusion. It seems so important to us, but we really just want to realize that when we are in prolonged confusion, we're spending so much energy, but nothing's happening. And when we realize that, that really helps us step back and be like, seriously, I've been thinking about this for 2 months, 3 months, a year, right? And nothing's happening. Like it's just such a waste of what we could be doing.
Yes,
that's actually that speaks a lot to me, because I worry a lot, and I feel like confusion and worriness kind of go along with it.
One of my very favorite questions that I love to ask my clients, that I love to ask myself when I get like within my own business or my own kiddos, right, is like, okay, I have this big thing, I don't know what to do, and we put that aside and we just think of, what if I did know? If I did know how to handle this, what would I do? If Google wasn't there, if my parents weren't there, if my friends weren't there, like we want to do our research. We want to be, and what was your experience with this? What did you think of this? All that type of things. But really, we got to trust ourselves, especially as parents. We have that gift within us, and we won't go wrong. So if we knew what to do, if we only had God, that's what I like to think. If I only had myself and God, there was no one else to turn to, not even my husband, what do I think is the best decision? And you'll be amazed. Like our brains really need direction, and allowing it to stew on those questions will really create, try it. I mean, I just want to challenge you to try it, because it will really create like your brain to just like, okay, what would I do? And you're putting it to work and you're giving it direction. And that's what all of our brains need to do. We have to train them to do that and not allow them to like run wild.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's one of the questions that I love. If I did know, what would I do?
I love that. I love that it's like kind of goes hand in hand with confidence, like
yes.
If you're confident in your decisions, then I don't know, it helps a lot. And then also it reflects to our kids as well. Like it shows them that we're confident in our decisions, and so they can be confident in their decisions. So I love that.
Good. Another topic that I do want to dive into, because I know that you are passionate about it, is postpartum depression. And if anybody is watching that maybe has had that same experience, I'd like to know what your recommendation is to maybe some mothers out there that are dealing with that.
But number one recommendation truly is just to get help. I love to think that as I've kind of pulled out and healed from the other side of it, like I came to me one time, like help is not a 4-letter word. And whatever that might look like for you, it might need seeing the doctor, getting medication. It might be hiring a therapist or a coach. It might be having someone come in and give you relief, you know, for half a day, like whatever it might be, is just get the help that you need. And I also, there's so many like recommendations, but also we need to learn how to let go of the judgment.
Yeah.
Like on all of the fronts, like asking if you have judgment for yourself for needing to ask for help, if you have judgment that how did I get here, what did I do wrong, whatever the judgment might look like for you, it's not helpful, right? It doesn't serve you. So even if like you're like, but it's really, really true, like this judgment about myself is really, really true, I always just love to think, even if it is true, why do you want to stay there if it's not serving you? I have so much empathy and compassion for that state. And this is one of the things that on another interview that I did mention, because I realize at times, like we could be in different financial positions, right? And you're like, oh, that sounds great. I would love to get help, but I just can't, like, I don't have the money. I can't afford to go to therapy or whatever it might be. And I feel that really deeply, but I also look at the flip side of that is like, how long are you willing to stay in this place until you can? Like, what if it's a year or 2 years? Like, help is the only way to start getting that ball moving to healing.
And I can tell that that's such a personal, you know, it means so much to you. I can tell that, you know, emotionally. So we're just so grateful, and we really appreciate your openness to sharing this.
So for this last part, we started a segment called the Tiny 10. And so we just want to hear from you in 10 seconds what you think makes a child powerful.
Okay, I love this question so much. Okay, so I believe what makes a child so powerful is truly their ability to love unconditionally and their non-judgment. That turns quickly in children, but if you look at 1, 2, 3-year-olds, they're non-judgment, right? You could be a mess, smelly breath, whatever it might be, and they just love you and they don't judge you. Like, what are you doing with your life? They don't judge themselves when they have a tantrum and something goes wrong. They don't then hop back up and be like, have all this judgment and shame on themselves for acting like that. Like, they're amazing that way. I feel like we can learn so much from their unconditional love and not judging.
Yeah, I love that so much. And just like, me and my husband were talking one time, like they don't really have a sense of like fearing for the future, you know, like they're just living in the moment, you know? So I feel like just they're a little bit naive to things, and I don't know if naive is the right word, but yeah, it definitely makes them powerful. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you guys.
And if you want to for anybody listening, if you can tell them how they can connect with you.
Sure. I'm on Instagram at Annie Haviland Coaches. I have my website's anniehaviland.com, and then my podcast will be launching soon, Coaching Cowgirl, and it will be awesome because it's just going to be short and sweet. They're not going to be long podcasts, but just really impactful information that will help you boss your brain.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much, Annie.
Yes, we are so grateful. We wish you the best of luck with your podcast. We're gonna stay tuned for that. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you for being with us.